Good morning. It's Monday. It's November 10th. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson. Bama football on YouTube. Family, good morning. Happy Monday. I appreciate y'all kicking it with me right here on Bama football on YouTube. In Tuscaloosa, I got it at 38 degrees, so I got the jacket on. And you know I've been under the weather a little bit, but I was able to go to the doctor this morning, so health status is on the upward. So I appreciate you guys kicking with me right here on Bama football on YouTube. Thank you very much for being with me each and every day on the show right here on Bama football on YouTube. Thank you. I look at this weekend's game, and you kind of see how this team has been able to prepare, right? How this team has been able to get through these different type of SEC type games. And I'm really optimistic, despite how they played against LSU, that this team can still kind of put it together. So I have my questions right here that I'm kind of looking at as you go into Saturday. And we'll do some AM shout outs in just a minute. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much this morning. So my questions kind of to start off this Monday going into this game against Oklahoma is Alabama football one-dimensional, right? And let me ask you inside the comment box, right? Do you feel that Alabama is one-dimensional? I'd probably say, if you ask me right now, I would say yes, right? I would say that they are currently one-dimensional. And this has kind of been, and it seems that the more emphasis that we kind of put on the run game, the more that we don't get an absolute run game. But let me just put this out there, okay? So when we're talking about the run game, has Alabama's high-efficiency, short yardage passing kind of been the new age run game? I'm not saying get away from the run game because you absolutely need it, but it is something worth thinking about in terms of kind of a short yardage approach in kind of a new age of college football. I don't personally like that take. I think you definitely have to be able to run the football. And look, if I know how to challenge Alabama football, you better well know that Brent Venables of Oklahoma is certainly coming after Alabama in terms of sending an amazing amount of pressure towards Alabama's quarterback. So that's what we're up against. And I think that Oklahoma, the more that I think about it, I do, you know me, I'm Mr. Optimistic, right? It doesn't take a lot I don't like to go to negative town much, but I do feel that this game presents a lot of challenges. And I know I've already seen it out there that if Alabama loses this game, they're still in the SEC championship game. I don't want to live like that. I want to win every single game, right? I want to progress every single week as a team. I want to figure out, how do we get this running game? Is it time to call on different running backs? Is it time to do something scheming wise? You're playing a lot of offensive linemen. I saw 9 offensive linemen play. I think maybe 10, I think it's 9 that played against LSU. So there's a lot to dive into when you talk about the running game. It is disappointing to see Alabama only having 2.5 yards per carry or whatever it is. I think it was 2.2 actually, which is just like abysmal, right? Got to get that going, and I know that's a high emphasis, and I don't want to just kind of overlook it. I strongly feel they need to get something going. But I've been asking you, it's the same thing for weeks. We're like, what should we do? What are the answers to the running game? Honestly, I don't know. I really don't. Toss sweeps, maybe. Are we calling on A.K. Deer? They don't play Kevin Riley. They don't play Richard Young. Richard Young's just been benched. I mean, now I'm just talking like absolute facts. They don't play A.K. Deer, right? So you're stuck with Jan Miller and Daniel Hill. And each of the guys, there wasn't production from either of the guys. Like that's the fact. Neither one of the guys, whether you're like a Daniel Hill guy, because I think where we went now is we're starting to choose our running backs, right? We're like, we want Daniel Hill. We don't want Jan Miller. Either pick your guy. Neither one has been able to get it done. So the common denominator isn't it the offensive line? Like, if you're getting the same results with Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, and Jan Miller, isn't the common denominator the offensive line? Let's see what John has to say. John, what's up, man? Good morning. We'll do some AM shout-outs in just a minute. He's saying, quit trying to run the ball against 6-man fronts on first down. Oh, I love this take, John. 100%. Thank you, bro. Crossing routes and screens. Yes, dog. John, where you been at, man? I love this, bro. You preach, bro. That if I was giving like stars today, you get a star at the beginning of the show. Adam Lampello has this to say, following up. We have no running game. Ty is fine. He was just getting intense pressure because LSU was winning the line of scrimmage. Dude, Adam, I love that take too, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys coming in hot this morning. I appreciate it. And, there has been, I think when you have Daniel Hill in, if you watch Daniel Hill, I think 1st and 4 from, the goal line, use him in those situations to get it to get it tutty. But I feel that sometimes his pass blocking isn't there. Whereas Jam Miller, his pass blocking is there, but Jam Miller hasn't been going north and south. He's been kind of stuck in the mud, right? So, look, this is an issue. Oklahoma knows it. I think if I'm listening to Oklahoma show, I'm like, yo, we can beat these guys. We can beat Alabama football. We can go into Bryant-Denny Stadium and stop that 17-game winning streak 100% if I'm Oklahoma, right? So what does this team do? What does this coaching staff do? What does Ryan Grubb say today when he speaks to the media in terms of, getting or establishing some sort of run game? And then the other thing is like Ryan Grubb, and then I start to go into the weeds. I'm like, damn, well, Ryan Grubb couldn't run the football at Seattle, right? That's why, honestly, let me ask you this. Why did Ryan Grubb get fired? What was one of the main reasons? I promise you, look it up. Someone look it up right now. What was one of the main reasons that Ryan Grubb got let go for the Seattle Seahawks? I'll wait inside the comment box. Smoke, what's up, dog? I appreciate it, man. A $2 super chat. Thank you so much. It was because he didn't run the football. I promise you. Look it up. If you dive into Ryan Grubb at Seattle, it was because they couldn't establish a running game. Now, Geno Smith, he was a quarterback at that current time. Yo, he threw for 4,000 yards. And I look, you might be like, Kyle, you're spending too much time on the running game. I don't think so, man. I think this is a critical issue because, look, this team is going to still continue to win a lot of games. They're going to be favored in most of the games that they play the rest of the way. But it's like, man, if you're one-dimensional, and I'll tell you what, and this might not be popular and I might not be put on, the national radar or whatever, but I prefer to just speak the truth rather than just gassing it up like everything is perfect. But I feel like I have to tell the truth, man. It's like, yo, if Tennessee didn't make mistakes, didn't throw an interception right before halftime, Tennessee's in that game. I bet you deep down in the heart of Josh Heupel, he feels that they could have beat Alabama. And you know what? LSU, if they didn't get 9 false starts and a couple of legal shifts and, play undisciplined football, they probably feel that they should have beat Alabama too. Okay? Now, Alabama has been able to be opportunistic on some of those teams that they've played, but other teams are going to take advantage of those, and it's only a matter of time until you play a team that doesn't make mistakes. I feel that the best games that Alabama has played so far has been against Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and then other teams are starting to figure out how to play Alabama, right? So that, if we know that on YouTube, just imagine what Brent Venable knows. So that's kind of where we start off right now. I'll come back to this in a second. This was me at 9:42 a.m., okay? So this isn't my Michael Jordan game by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know what's going on, but I got something hit me. And the other thing that I was noticing about this photo is, man, I've never had my hair this long. So I don't know, fam. We might have to go to the barber, or we might just let this roll out. I don't know what we got going here, man. But it's November, and we're going to power on through it. So I appreciate you kicking it with me, as always, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Let's do some AM shout-outs, and then we'll come back to those questions. Let's see who's here checking in this morning. And I did get 2 steroid shots, so hopefully that can start to kick in. And then I got – what else did I get? I got some other prescriptions that I got to go pick up later on today. All right, we got Max Tooney, man. What's up, Max? I appreciate you being here, man. Dano, thank you very much for kicking it with me. We have Mindy, Miss Careless. What's up? Good to see you. We have Arnett. What's up, man? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And let's see. We have Robert Bradley Jr. We have Daniel Denny. Looks like Daniel Denny's an Auburn fan. That's what's up, man. Thanks for being here. We have, maybe you switch over. We have Sean the Explorer. We got Max Tooney. We got Miss Blissful Love. Thank you so much. We got Young C coming to us from Wiptunka. We got AR-17. We got Broderick. Thanks for being here, bro. We got my boy Rex Green. We got Keno. We got Adam Lampero. Adam, where you been, bro? It's good to see you up inside the comment box. We have Army 3275. Hope you're doing well, man. I know you've been battling through, and you're an absolute warrior, 100%. We have Michael Roden checking in. We have 44, $8. We have Chris G. We have Bruce Watson. We got Smoke, who already came through with a super chat. So, yeah, we got the whole crew locked in. Thank you so much, fam, for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Dano hit us with the vitamin C and some zinc. Okay, and John with the hell of a scoop this morning is coming to us from Calera. All right, got you, man. All right, my other question, I'm talking about, has Alabama been figured out? Let me ask you this, and it's kind of ambiguous how I'm asking this, but let me ask you this. Do you feel that teams are starting to figure out how to play Alabama? Yes or no inside the comment box? I kind of feel they do. I feel that if, going back to this Oklahoma game, and I'll show you Oklahoma here in a minute, stats and kind of do a rundown on Oklahoma, but I think they have. I mean, if you're figuring out Alabama, I'm sending 100% pressure. I know they can't run the football, just as we were talking about. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I know that they struggle on the deep ball. But I also am concerned about the defense. I'm like, oh, shoot. Yo, this defense is nasty. So I'm like, what can we do and how can we move the football against Alabama? Because they're not allowing the chunk yardage plays that they were. It's hard to beat Alabama over the top. I know they got beat over the top, I think, against South Carolina. There's maybe been a couple times this year where teams have beat them over the top. But, yo, the defense, especially in the red zone, yo, good luck trying to put something in the end zone. So I think most people inside the comment box has said that they kind of figured out how to play Alabama. All right, my next point is Ty regressing? Yes or no inside the comment box. Is Ty Simpson regressing? I'm going to say a hard no. No. I think we're figuring out that Ty Simpson has a couple things that he needs to work on in his craft, but I don't think that Ty Simpson is regressing. I mean, if you scroll, like, I don't spend a lot of time on X because I think that place is an absolute trash can. People are always fighting. It's a negative space, right? I don't like to live in that sort of space. But if you go on X and you kind of look, some breakdowns by some NFL analysts, yo, some of the throws that he made was ridiculous. Like in this particular game, tight window contested throws that he was able to make. So I still feel the way that Ty's able to operate in the pocket, right, keep his eyes downfield and make some throws, yo, he is not regressing. Now, is his deep ball maybe one of his weak suits? Everybody has something that they're weak at, 100%. Quinn says, what's up, dog? But I think, his I'll take high efficiency and 25-yard darts over a deep ball. I just will. Ironically, the guy that had an amazing deep ball was Milroe, but Milroe couldn't operate the middle of the field. He couldn't. Now, the dude could run, and Ty could run still too. But Ty's deep ball accuracy just isn't there, or it just hasn't, come on yet. So, but is he regressing? No. No, he's not. This dude is still balling out of control. Matches Matt, dog. What's up, man? Good to see you with the super chat. He says, run game. What's the advantage of a handoff versus a toss? Man, Mattress Matt brought this up a while ago. I think it was last week. He wants to see more toss sweeps. I was watching. You ever watch the NFL? Who watches the NFL? Watch the Colts. The Colts right now, man, the Colts are a damn good football team. And if you had Jonathan Taylor on your fantasy football team like I do, yo, he racked up 49 points. 49 points in fantasy, which is crazy. They do a lot of toss sweeps with Jonathan Taylor. Now, they'll run between the tackles for sure, but the thing about Jonathan Taylor is he's absolutely probably one of the best running backs right now in the league, but he's very patient. They'll utilize him, and they'll go to him until they get it going, right? I feel that Alabama has never really committed to the running game, right? And maybe that's because you're getting stuffed on first down, which I don't think you should be running it there. But I feel like they do a great job of utilizing their featured back, right? But thanks for the super chat, bro. Let's see. Can the defense hold the rope? Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you feel that the defense, let's say, how should I phrase this? Do you feel that right now the reason Alabama has won, let's just say the last 2 games, is because of the defense? Has Alabama won the last 2 games because of its defense? You better say yes, 100%. Now, the offense made a hell of a play, in a late game situation against South Carolina, but this defense is playing ferocious. I have been so impressed with the play of the Alabama defense. I could rattle off 5, 6 guys right now that I am so impressed with on the defensive side of the ball. Man, let's talk about a couple of them. LT Overton, absolute dog. Deonzi Pierre, man. I have a friend that coaches with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm sure they already have NFL scouts at all these games. Of course they do, right? But I felt like texting him last night and telling him, man, you need to check out number 42. I'm serious. I was sitting there on the couch and I was just thinking about it. I was like, man, I just want to make sure Deonzi Pierre is on the national radar, because that guy, man, for not being a starter and for now coming in and playing like he is, he probably playing like the best player on the entire team, man. I think at times it was Ty Simpson was the best player on the team, then Jeremy Bernard, and now it's switched to Deonzi Pierre. But my goodness, man, that guy is – he reminds me, of some of the other top-tier outside linebackers for sure. I know a lot of you calling, like Arnett and Neal calling for Red Morgan. Yo, 16 is a menace, dude. I don't think he starts right now. But Red Morgan, yes or no, has Red Morgan had a glow-up? A glow-up to me is like, kind of like a new saying. Year over year, has he kind of like gotten better? Red Morgan is so good. And I keep saying this. It seems like when he comes in, he's playing at like the highest gear possible. That's what you want from somebody on defense. You want somebody off the bench who's just coming in and playing reckless. Reckless like in a good way, right? Man, that guy brings it 100%. And that's the thing. And what have I always said about this Alabama football team is like the depth will separate this team in the end. Imagine having somebody, that's on the sidelines like Red Morgan that you could put in. Embarrassment of riches. That's what that means, 100%. All right, 42, 16, 22. How about some Edric Hill? We don't talk about Edric Hill often. He's a big dude in the trenches. Him, 90, London Simmons, how I love him. Tim Keenan, James Smith. Yo, the defensive line is playing good football. I'm telling you, they're playing good football. But I want to say this, okay? Do you agree with me? All right, and we were talking about this at the beginning of the season, and I think we're starting to see it right now, kind of towards the later part. Yo, these inside linebackers. I knew that the depth and experience of this group would at some point be good for Alabama football. But damn, yo, Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson, and Nikhil Green. Those guys rotating at the inside linebacker position, my goodness. That is a quality rotation of inside linebackers. 100%. Nikhil Green's been playing some damn good football. Yep, that's 41. Zero's been playing good football. He led the team in tackles with 9, right? And Justin Jefferson, man, that dude is flying around. So those inside linebackers, how they rotate them, they are playing outstanding football. Two more names on the defensive side. I got Bray Hubbard, 18. Yo, Bray Hubbard, baller. He had a strip, right? I know LSU recovered on it. He had a pass deflection. I think he had 5 tackles, all right? And then the last player I want to highlight on defense is Mustard. Yo, Mustard, yeah, like Max is saying inside the comment box, Mustard is playing more than Damani Jackson right now. I think that you can't – it's hard to take off Dejon, right? You can't. I mean, his length, his athletic ability, the play that he made where he batted down the ball, yo, Mustard is the man. So you have Mustard starting and you have number 2. That's a freshman and a sophomore. And you think about it, you get Jordan Edmonds coming in next year. Man, that secondary. Mo Lindquist, we don't mention his name often, but he's a secondary coach that's done a damn good job with the team for sure. All right. I'm feeling a little bit better. right? Yesterday I was in the dumps. So, and I was, yesterday is a heavy work day, like Saturday and Sunday, obviously. But I'm so thankful for, to be making some progress. So thanks for giving me grace. Home field is key, but it isn't forever. 100%. Look, undefeated at Bryant-Denny, Coach Kalen DeBoer, riding a 17-game winning streak. Bryant-Denny woke up. Within the last, 2 years, that stadium is way more difficult to play at than in the past. The time when I used to go to the games and sit in the press box, man, that stadium was boring. I'm serious. It would kind of be a little bit exciting towards the end or whatever. People would dip out. Remember Coach Saban would be like, stay for the entire game. Now Bryant-Denny, I think that Bryant-Denny Stadium is probably one of the most challenging places to play at in the country. The fans are crazy now, and it's because the fans realized that they certainly have an impact on the outcome of the game. They do. So 103,000, but you know what it's really working for is for the recruits. The recruits are seeing this, and they're like, there's no other place. Where else would I rather play, right? But it isn't forever, and what I mean by that is you're going to have to step out of Bryant-Denny Stadium, okay? You're going to have to go out, and you're going to have to play at Auburn soon enough, right? You're going to have to go in the playoffs, the SEC championship game. Those games are away from Bryant-Denny Stadium. And as we know, this team hasn't played its best football on the road in the past. But this season, they've actually won some quality games away from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Georgia, Missouri, right? You look to how they've been able to play in some of those games, and that gives me a little bit more confidence from them playing outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. My last thing on kind of questions right now is the kicking game. Does it make you nervous? This is an easy yes or no. Does the kicking game make you nervous? And that should be an easy hell yeah. All right, we got Daniel Denny is tied dual threat. Thank you so much for the super chat, bro. I really appreciate it. Yes, 100%. And the thing about this is an interesting question because 100% he is, but he has not showcased his running ability this year at all. I think there's been spurts. Like I know, and probably all my fans, in the undefeated know what type of quarterback is because we're, it's an educated fan base. They know what he brings to the table. He has not used his legs this year. He really hasn't. With Ty Simpson, which I'm not mad about, he would rather sit, make pre-snap reads, protect himself, and find receivers and distribute the football like a point guard, okay? Now, sometimes there's a time for a point guard to take over and to score points and to pick up first downs. He can do that. He just hasn't done it, which I'm grateful for because, look, if you get banged up or something like this team is a different team without Ty Simpson operating it. So, yeah, but Ty Simpson is 100% a dual threat. He just hasn't. I think people will be shocked once Ty Simpson starts moving around. I'm telling you, the guy's fast. Who would you compare him to in like the NFL? Ty Simpson. I always like to think about that. I mean, Baker Mayfield is super athletic. Jackson Dart might be. I don't know who would be faster. 'Cause I'm telling you, Ty Simpson, that guy can run, bro. And man, whoever has Jackson Dart on fantasy football, congratulations. All right, we did our AM shout outs. We saw that I pulled through. Remember, this is how you can support this show real quick. Notifications, make sure that they're always turned on, right? Hit the thumbs up on these type of videos. Any type of video you see, that really helps. It's the thumbs up underneath the video. Fan fund, you become a fan funder. There's different levels to become a fan funder. Super chats are greatly appreciated. It really goes a long way for a content creator like me. And then follow us on social media, most importantly, on our Facebook channel. I think we have 70,000 followers on our Facebook channel. So definitely get in there and follow us on our social media feed. All right. I spent a lot of time yesterday going over this in terms of looking at Oklahoma. I'm impressed with Oklahoma. This is a team that has lost 2 games, right? They lost to Texas and Ole Miss. And I bet if John Mateer is healthy, they probably beat Texas. And this you're probably looking at right now a 4 versus 5 or a 6 game right here, right? Yeah, I mean, shoot, Oklahoma's what? They're 10 or 11. So this is a good football team, the very good football team. So let me run Let me run over some stats real quick for this team because I was like, damn. When I started adding this up, and this isn't to cause fear. It's just to cause, it's to inform. It's to create education. And I'm sure, this isn't an Oklahoma team that you're just going to run through, right? Michael Roden, what's up, dog? He's like, I'm not at all worried about Oklahoma. Yeah, I love that. I love the confidence, bro. But let me go over this, Michael, and let's look at this. And good to have you inside the comment box, bro. Hope all is well. They have the number 7 defense in the nation, right? Man, that super impressive. They have 33 sacks this season. But you all were quick to point out, and I didn't catch this. I mean, I remember it, but you guys brought it up, so thank you so much. 10 of those sacks were against Auburn. Isn't that crazy? 10 of them. And then I was like, man, I remember that. And that was a close game. I think they won by 7. Outside of that, just to kind of give you a reference point, I mean, the numbers are what the numbers are. They have 33 sacks. I think Alabama has 18, right? Just for reference sake. They have 29 quarterback hurries. And you know what a good game to watch, fam? Watch Oklahoma and Tennessee. That was just recently, right? Joey Aguilar was able to operate at a very high level against Oklahoma. And I think Ty Simpson is a better quarterback, much better quarterback than Joey. He found seams. He made some contested throws, but I think he did well against Oklahoma's defense. It was just a couple times the pressure got to him, and he threw 2 interceptions. And as you know, Ty Simpson doesn't make a lot of bad decisions. He just doesn't. I mean, what is he? 21 touchdowns, 1 interception. So even if you have to absorb a sack, take it. Don't force. Because I think this team plays more opportunistic football, meaning they'll come up with the interception, they'll come up with the fumble return. This is that type of defense. A lot of athletes, specifically their defensive line and linebackers, are very, very good. I feel you could challenge their secondary. Just my take. This team lost to Texas, and they lost to Ole Miss. Those were each good games. I feel, John Mateer wasn't healthy in that game. I know it's a Red River rivalry game. Texas, I felt like kind of controlled that game. The Ole Miss game was a better game, but Lane Kiffin, that's probably his best win on the season, is beating Oklahoma. They're allowing 82.4 yards per rush, which is a 2.5 average. That's not a big deal because Alabama only runs for 2.2 yards per carry anyways, right? They're allowing 181 yards per pass. Okay, well, let's see how they fare against Ty Simpson. I think if my game plan would just be to get the football out quick. I want screens. I wish Alabama would run more crossing patterns. They don't. They don't even really run slants. Oklahoma is also 41% on third down conversions. They are 28 of 28 on red zone attempts and scores. Love that number. And that's super impressive. 21 of 28 is touchdowns. And then I talked about this on the morning podcast. That kicker is Tate Sandel. Have you seen this guy? Did anybody see this guy? This is your homework. Go look up Tate Sandel. This guy, I'm not kidding you. And this is like a fad right now in the world of college football. The players don't wear like pants. They basically, and this is for everybody. This isn't for Oklahoma. This is for Alabama because I've seen it happen in practice too. Is basically you don't even wear knee pads. You don't even, and basically your shorts, you're basically like playing in a girdle. That's what this dude did. He came out, played in like a girdle, and I'll tell you what, as funny as it looked, the guy has a leg. Because he is, it should be 18 of 19 this season, and his longest of 55, and then from 40 yards out, he's 7 of 8. So, man, this guy could kick, man. He's got an absolute boot. Hey, what's up, Brian? He's like, you don't want the homework. Yo, they still give kids homework, man. Caden has homework even as a junior, and Lacey in 7th grade, man, oh my goodness, math. Dude, we got math homework for days. They're all the time. They don't have school tomorrow, though, so they'll be home tomorrow. John Mateer, 1,900 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, and has 306 yards rushing. Patriot Life, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. I do find it surprising that he's only thrown 8 touchdowns. I understand he's missed some games because of the injury that he had. But that I figured he'd have more. But the thing that did surprise me, right? The thing that did surprise me is he's rushed for 306 yards this season. So I think John Mateer is, and I even saw this in a couple games that I watched, he's way more athletic than I had perceived. So he can run, and they have 2 running backs that have run for over 300 yards as well. So in this game against Tennessee that they won, they had 2 rushes for close to 100 yards. It was kind of similar in terms of what they did last year to Alabama, right? So let me ask you this. What's your confidence level, at least right now, in Alabama versus Oklahoma on a scale of 1 to 10, as we always do? Hey, Patriot Life, thank you so much, man. Patriot Life has gifted 5 Fan Funder gift memberships to the crew. So looks like Matthew got taken care of. We got For Leisure, Brady G, and Jamie Andrew. So you guys tell Patriot Life, thank you. Jarvis points out that they ran for 257 yards on Alabama last year. Yeah. And look, with all that said, I still see a lot of high marks coming in. I love it. I love it. Yeah, good to see it. 10, 8, 7, 9, 8, 10, 5, 4. Okay, some of them are a little bit lower. Max Tooney saying low, but I'll pick Bama. Ruben pulls in at 10. What's up, Ruben? Good to see you, man. Kenny Lattimore. What's up, dog? Javion says, Kyle, what do I need to eat coming through New Mexico? Well, that depends where you're at. What part of the state you're at? Are you in Albuquerque or are you down in Las Cruces? That would be I-10 or I-40, right? If you're rolling through Albuquerque, man, 100% stop at Golden Prod Burrito. Grab a number 9 or number 10 with some green chili. Breakfast burrito, you'll be straight. I promise you. Grab 2 of them. Grab 3 of them. Grab 4 of them and bring me 1 of them, please. All right, so that's kind of a glance at the Sooners. Coach Kalen DeBoer following the game against LSU, and remember, Coach Kalen DeBoer, you have Ryan Grubb and Kane Womack today at the podium at 12 p.m., right? Coach Kalen DeBoer said this: our guys knew that we were going to get a team that if we were in a fight, we're going to stay in the fight. There's some things that we can do better to separate ourselves in the third quarter. There's been a couple of games where we've done that and need to get better at it. And that's like playing a rival like LSU. I will say this, that the team does have fight, right? I do feel that I've seen kind of a fight and a hunger from Alabama football. And I think that starts from the head man, Coach Kalen DeBoer. He's been much more aggressive this year. I feel that you've started to, like the black hoodie DeBoer, I'm all about it. He's got more confidence. Did anybody see the suit that he wore walking into the stadium? Yo, man, he's definitely up the drip game for sure. At first he came in and he had like cargo shorts and all this stuff. Yo, whoever dressed him, his suit was fire. I liked it, man. So this new DeBoer, as we continue to see like a metamorphosis of him as a coach, they got fight. And I think behind the scenes, yes, Sammy, thank you. I think plain and simple, DeBoer is settling in. And I think the more, it's interesting, the more that people get behind DeBoer, the more confidence that he's even getting. And I think he's realizing, while being Mr. Nice Guy is like who he is, I think he's being comfortable being like, yo, I can be like the king of this place. You're supposed to be the king of this place. And when you kind of drop the hammer, they will follow you 100%. So black hoodie DeBoer, who would have thought, you know? But yeah, this dude's absolutely cooking 100%. Daniel says, scale of 1 to 10, confidence in Auburn. I say 3. You know, look, when talking about Auburn, I can't even imagine being an Auburn fan like Daniel. Thanks for the super chat, bro. Because you kind of, like in retrospect, right, our life is always, like you could always make a better decision after the fact, right? Hindsight 2020. But like if you're Auburn, I feel like they felt they could do better than Gus Malzahn, right? And let me ask you, I mean, I guess Daniel, just our one Auburn fan here, are the guys that you chose better than Gus Malzahn? Do you wish that Malzahn was still there? It's always like, okay, we'll hire this next guy. Like, I said this a long time ago. I'm like, damn, you know what? Should Florida have kept Dan Mullen? Right? Should Auburn have kept Gus Malzahn? Right? Should LSU have kept Ed Orgeron? I mean, think about it from this standpoint, man. It's like LSU was so vain that they won a national championship with Ed Orgeron that they thought they could do better. Do better. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I get it, Dano. Dano said Gus was a one-trick pony, but you know what? If you could beat Nick Saban, not once, a couple different times, and I guess you could say the same for Hugh Freeze because he beat Saban, but not when he was at Auburn, right? Hey, Ed Orgeron, right? He won a title. So I don't even know where these other programs go next, but scale of confidence in Auburn, well, until they really make a strong hire, I'd probably say 0. This is a program that, they got a lot of work to do. It could take, and, in this day and age, you can be better faster, but continuing that consistency in your performance might take you a long time. And Daniel, I don't really remember Ed Orgeron's last season, but I'm saying I think in this new age of college football, it's gonna be harder and harder to find consistent coaches that are winning 10, 11 type games. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Cade, what's up, dog? Cade is saying this. Kyle, keep it in the buck. Do you think the Indiana team will be a top team with the SEC conference? No, 100% not. No, I don't. And I don't. I'm going to move into college football rankings here in a second, but this one really fires me up. All right, I was just talking about this. This one really like pisses me off because I feel that. All right, here I go. I feel that the SEC, like, the one team that's going to get screwed over in all of this that I feel should be a playoff team is Vanderbilt. All right, Vanderbilt is a 2-loss team. You put Vanderbilt with the schedule of Notre Dame. Who's to say they wouldn't be a 1-loss team, right? They'd probably beat Miami, right? They'd win the ACC championship. They'd win the Big 12 championship, right? If they're independent, they might be the number 2 or 3 or 5 team in the country, okay? Indiana, I feel, is a good football team. I am not out here to say that Indiana is not a good football team, but they have not played a gauntlet of a schedule like the SEC. Not a lot of people have. Really, not even Texas A&M. Somehow Texas A&M managed not to play the best teams in the SEC. It's just kind of how it worked out, right? But, I mean, I just feel that you should play, like, I respect you more if you play a tougher schedule. I get it, man. If you lose a game, you lose a game. I watch the NFL. One loss does not dictate your entire season. This is the new age of, college football. So could Indiana survive? They barely survived Penn State. Penn State fired their coach. They barely won. I thought that was a great win. I thought it was a great come-from-behind win. I thought the quarterback threw, he made some amazing throws at the end of the game. But could they sustain like a SEC-type schedule? No, I don't think so. So, but that's just my take. And at the end of the day, we'll find out. We'll find out if they can. All right? I mean, I would be like utterly shocked if they beat Ohio State. And if they do, I'll be here and I'll give them, credit. Let me run through a couple other items before I get to college football real quick. But I appreciate the answer. It just fires me up because, like, Notre Dame, that team, 2 losses. They lost twice. Can you imagine if Alabama lost twice? Oh, my God. Notre Dame loses twice. They don't even have to play in a conference championship game. And they are, like, secure in the playoffs. And they beat Navy, 9-1, right? They'll beat Pittsburgh. College game days going up to Pittsburgh to watch Notre Dame. And come on. If you really want to do the right thing, the best game in the country is either this one or going to Georgia for Georgia and Texas. These are my game balls real quick against LSU. I got Josh Cuevas. Josh Cuevas, this guy has been one of the best tight ends that we've had in some time. I got here literally right after O.J. Howard left. So the best tight end I would say is maybe Irv Smith. And then I think I might put Josh Cuevas there. And I get it. Cam Latu caught 8 touchdowns, but he was just serviceable. He was just serviceable. I liked him, but and Terry's like, who has Ohio State played? 100%. You know what, Terry? Ohio State's best win is against Texas or then Illinois. That's it. Illinois is not even ranked. Josh Cuevas, baller. Thumbs up. Do you agree with that? Who's better than Josh Cuevas? He's a lot better than C.J. Dupree. And I love the person that Miller Forrestall is 100%. But Josh Cuevas is a better tight end than him too. You know what? Josh Cuevas has turned into a weapon more than like a safety outlet for Alabama. He's a weapon. He had 4 catches for 58 yards. He's good. I like Josh Cuevas. A lot better than I thought he would be. Lazier Brooks. This guy, he complements the other wide receivers so well. And I love the fact that he's returning kicks. Thank God. Remember a couple years ago, I don't know whose idea it was for this. Remember they had Jaleel Billingsley returning kicks? No. Haven't you ever played NCAA football together? You go to NCAA football, you see the fastest player is with the fastest acceleration, the fastest change of direction, and that's who you have returning kicks. Duh. Lazier Brooks, that's your dude. Look, he's playing fantastic. He's coming up with big-time catches. That 53-yard scoop that he had was baller. That was a deep pass. Next year, Ryan Williams, Lazier Brooks, Sedarian Morgan. Come on. That's crazy. And look, I love Cole Adams, Mr. Dependable, but I would like to see Lazier Brooks maybe running some punts. All right. Let's see what the author has to say. Yo, what's up, man? I'm loving how this – thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. I really, really appreciate it. I'm loving how this season has turned out, but I gave DeBoer 3 years to at least reach a natty. If he doesn't do it, how do you feel about him and our future is still standard, and I still have faith? Oh, yo, like what Coach Kalen DeBoer is doing right here, and I think we have to be careful where we're at in college football. It's like if DeBoer doesn't win a championship here, I don't want this season, I don't want one person to come on and be like, he is not the guy. I'll tell you what Coach Kalen DeBoer has done already has given himself plenty of time on that contract, okay? And I'll tell you where it comes from is not only what he's done this year in terms of wins and losses and week by week, right? But the recruiting is elite. So not only is he making strides with the players that are on the team, right? And winning games, most importantly, but the recruiting is outstanding. Outstanding. Go look at the guy. He's about to get another 5-star. The class of 2026 is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Class of 2027, I don't like to even think about 2027 because I'm like, man, I don't want to invest my personal time talking about these teenagers when they're going to flip, reflip, all that crap. It's just, it's a waste of time, I feel, right? But if you really zoom out and you're like, damn, these are the type of guys that they're really getting, it is ultra impressive. And those are the building blocks. Who got Dejoun Lee? Who got Lazier Brooks? Who got London Simmons? Who got Keelan Russell? Who got Xavier Crowell? Who got Sedarian Morgan? I mean, you want me to go through it? It's crazy. So, look, I don't know who's going to win the championship. Could Bama win the championship? Yeah. I think there's probably maybe 5-6 teams that can win a championship this year. Alabama's one of them for sure. But, if DeBoer can't get it done now, you're gonna fire Kyle Shanahan because he lost yesterday to the Rams? No. Right? Deontay Lawson, I gave him a game ball. We haven't really been talking about him. 9 tackles. I mean, the guy's an absolute beast. Play in the middle of the field. He gets better and better and better every single week. Kenny Lattimore's 100% right, bro. Yeah, I mean, all football talk is Alabama football talk. Yeah, I was looking at it. On 3 yesterday, they did 5 videos on Alabama football. 5. That's a national organization because they understand the only team worth talking about is Alabama football. Duh. Yanzi Pierre, 42. This guy, my favorite player on the team right now, right? Balling out of control. I love the fact that he wasn't even a starter. That's how deep Alabama is. Just think about all these other guys kind of on the bench that are going to get their opportunities as well, right? Let's see what Falcon Wings has to say. 1982. Bob Stoops at Oklahoma only got one natty, but he has consistently made New Year's Six, bowls, won conference championships. It would be crazy to fire DeBoer for not winning a natty immediately. Thank you, bro. 100%. Yeah, I mean, and look, now winning a college football championship, winning 16, 17 games, it's an NFL season. It's an NFL season. Let's see what ZH inside the comment box says. My girl just left me, but Bama football this weekend at least. Hey, dog, look, I'm gonna tell you something real quick, okay, about life. You don't chase, accept, be nice, right? You don't chase. You let God put things into your life, okay? Somebody leaves you, that's their choice. The person that you can control, say it with me, fam, everybody who's in their 40s, okay? The only person you control is yourself, right? And that's it. And if there's somebody out there for everybody, okay? So don't even, man. And sometimes that single life is a huge dub, you know? So you got to enjoy it, man. I wouldn't stress one bit. All right, Bray Hubbard. The guy is an absolute monster. All right, number 18 can do it all over the field. I love this guy. This is a guy. He took accountability. Week 1, he was loafing. We called him out. He was loafing. And the dude has been a menace ever since. But you know what? He took accountability, right? And he came out and he did his thing. We love me some Bray Hubbard, man. And his story's really good. Bray Hubbard's a country boy. And he lost his mom at an early age. Every time he steps on the field, his play is dedicated to his mom. He comes from a really good family, really good kid, kind of a great, leader, and exemplifies the script A for Bama. Love that dude. He's a good player. I know he's not a captain, but you got to think like somebody like this put his cleats, in the cement, right? I went over this a couple times, and I think after this I'll get to some college football rankings. You guys okay? I'm feeling okay, so I can, go a little bit. I'll probably bounce out before 11:30 because got to get ready for Ryan Grubb, Kane Womack, and Coach Kalen DeBoer at 12, right? All right, Daniel, have a good rest of your day, brother. We love you, man. All right, offense, I give the passing a B-, rushing a F. Offensive line a C. Third downs are only 4 of 13 in the play calling a C+. I already told you how I felt about the gadget plays. I don't want to talk about that right now. The defense, A's across the board. They allowed LSU to be 5 of 14 on third downs. Love that number. Special teams actually ended up giving Connor Talty a B because he did hit 2 field goals that were from 40 yards out. Okay, I know he missed a short one, but he did hit 240, where it's kind of been his struggle area. Kick return longest to 25 with Lazier Brooks. My assessment on the deep ball, 2 of 14, you got to fix it, okay? I don't know if that's a weak spot in your area, but you got to hit on some deep balls because Jerry Bernard was open for a touchdown, all right? Yanze Pierre, no, not Yanze Pierre. It was Lazier Brooks that I think had the man beat, but the ball was underthrown. I think he missed on 2 deep balls that could have been maybe touchdowns, right? I mean, Lazier Brooks is going to get you space. So is Ryan Williams. But you got to be able to hit these guys down. If it's a 40-yard throw, you got to make it. Gadget plays, I'm done with them for the most part. Defense is straight fire, and then Connor Talty hit 2 from 40. Real quick, inside the numbers, I'll go full screen because I know the font is a little bit small. We'll start on the right. 17-game winning streak at Bryant-Denny Stadium, dating back to 2023. It's the longest in the entire nation. Kalen DeBoer, 12-0 at Bryant-Denny Stadium, 36-3 during his career in the month of November. We got the defense that held LSU to just 2.3 yards per rush. Yanze Pierre has 6 sacks and 9.5 tackles for a loss this season. Ty Simpson, the last 3 games, percentage trending the opposite way, 65-5, 55-8, 60, and then Ty Simpson 2 of 14, as we discussed. Bama rushed 26 times for 70 yards. That's a 2.2 team average. Connor Talty, 11 of 16 on field goals, 5 of 8 from 40. Jerry Bernard, 702 yards this season with 8 total touchdowns. Love me some Jerry Bernard. And then Alabama, teams are only 37% converting on third downs against the Crimson Tide. What's up, Cam? Do you have Pro Football Focus grades? Yeah. Are you looking for anyone in particularly? I could show you them real quick. I pull them up before I go college football. You guys want to see Pro Football Focus grades? I think I used to show more Pro Football Focus grades. I know people have like a different of opinion about Pro Football Focus grades. I'm an analytical person, so I could dive into the numbers all day long. But I'll show you the Pro Football Focus grades. Do you want to see them for like the actual by game, or do you want to see them like overall? Because there's two ways to look at them. You can look at them like a season total, or you could look at them just Alabama versus LSU. What I'll do is I'll just go Alabama, LSU, and I'll walk you through them. Let me get this on the screen. Go here. All right, so I'll go full screen. I'll walk you through it. Okay, so how to look at this chart, because I know you see these numbers and you're like, what the hell is this? Okay, start up top with Ty Simpson, okay? Zoom in a little bit more. All right, Ty Simpson, okay? The star indicates that he started, okay? Position means position, right? Quarterback. He played in a total of 64 offensive snaps. 40 of those were passing plays, right? And 18, I guess, were rushes, right? Offensive total grade, graded by former scouts, right? Guys who played in the NFL, 78.8. This is a high number. This is a really good number. His passing grade was 76.8. His run was 68.2. Run blocking, if he had to, was 60. I don't really look at that. So those are the type of numbers. How I'm going to sort these is go for total. Total means snap count, okay? So Caden Proctor played in 64 snaps at left tackle. His overall grade was 65.5. So when I'm looking at these, I sort it by a couple different things. I go for, who played in the most snaps right here, and then their grade clearly. And I'm looking like over here, Daniel Hill in pass protection. See, that jumps out, right? 39.5. So I'm not just saying pass protection and Daniel Hill, like picking on him, right? It's like literally he struggles in pass protection. I mean, the numbers show right here, okay? Now that's compared to, let's see, where's Jam Miller? Jam Miller was 60, okay, over here. So those are your Pro Football Focus numbers in terms of, the offense, okay? I'll show you defense real quick. Go to defense, sort it, total. Now, defense, when I look at the numbers over here on defense, there's a little bit more numbers that I look at rather than just the overall grade, because you have the run defensive grade right here, you have the tackle grade, and you have the pass rushing. So, again, let's sort it by total. Let's look at Xavier Brown, number 2. He played in 56 total, right? He had a defensive grade overall of 66. That's basically the total. And then his coverage grade is 66.1. So I look at, for corners, I look at coverage grade and I look at tackle, right? How are you making tackles in open field? So 74, I'm not mad about. 66 needs to improve. Bray Hubbard right here. Look at these grades. Overall, 88, 91 in rush defense, 79 in tackle, and 83.5 in coverage. That is outstanding. Outstand. That's NFL type stuff, okay? Let's see who else stands out in the blue. Nakai Hill-Green, defensive grade 92.4, looks like the highest on the team. Coverage grade of 92.4. Love my inside linebacker playing that high level. Deontay Lawson, 82.2. 88.4 on run defense. Can't take him out. Dejon Lee, look at that grade right here on coverage, 74.9. Love to see it. So kind of a snapshot. Here's Yanzi Pierre had a pass rushing grade of 84.2. So you can get lost in the weeds on Pro Football Focus. I don't often spend time talking about the grades. But, if you want to see them, just let me know, and I'll bring them out kind of from time to time because, I think it does tell you kind of a story. The lag guy with the super chat, let's see what the lag guy has to say. I think Ty's downward trend comes from more people getting into the pocket, into his face more and more. Yeah. I can say that 100%. He's going to face, look, and if we zoom in on Pro Football Focus, we could look to his statistics under heat. In fact, we could do that right now. Let's do that since we're going into Oklahoma game. And Jarvis thinks that I could be a good coach. I was a coach. You know what? I tell you, man, I was a coach, and it was that's probably where I made the most difference in my life, like impact. And I promise you, I just had a player that I coached way back. This is like 15 years ago. And he just texted me. His name's Dominic Maddox. He's at Converse Judson right now. And he texts me, and he's like, yo, coach. And I'm like, what's up, man? How you doing? And he's just like, you made such an impact on my life. Because when you're a coach, right, you're literally like impacting people. All right, let's see. Ty Simpson. I just want to show you his grade versus pressure. Ty Simpson. Okay, offensive, passing depth. Passing pressure, here it is. Okay. You guys see this? I'll go full screen again so you could see this. All right, so passing pressure right here. So this is Ty Simpson's passing chart, okay? So when he's kept clean, he has a grade of 91.5. I think we all understand that when Ty Simpson, when he has time, right, when I'm on the watch along or when you're watching TV and he has time to throw, yo, Ty Simpson will eat you up. He can read the field, right? 100%. Now, look at this. When he's under pressure, okay? If I'm Brett Venables, yo, you can't let Ty Simpson stay healthy inside the pocket. Look at this. 91 to 51. I mean, are you serious? When he's not blitzed, 87% in his grade. That's crazy. When he is blitzed, that's still a good number for him. Is 73. Now look at this. When blitzed, his fumble is 23. And Chris G points up a great point. When he does, when he has fumbled, hasn't it all came from the left side? We'd have to go back and look at that overall statistic. But, yeah, there it is. I mean, it shows you right there. Pressure him. All right, let me look at the college football rankings real quick, and then we'll dip out. But I appreciate you guys kicking it with me today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And thanks for bringing up the Pro Football Focus numbers. If you like to see more of those stats, I'll bring them here. It's just some people don't like them. Some people do. Hopefully I can explain them well to you. I don't know. I like looking at the snap counts too. All right, coaches poll rankings. They came out, and I get it. Tuesday are really the only rankings that we look at is the college football rankings. But as you can see, Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Bama, Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, and Texas round out that top 10. Tuesday night, the rankings will be updated. My college football rankings for this point in time, as of like today, not playoff rankings, my team rankings, right? Just the best teams. I have it Ohio State, A&M, Indiana, Alabama, with Alabama taking a couple steps back. I had them at number 2. I have Georgia, Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas, Vandy, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Notre Dame. And my thought process for ranking Tennessee, where I have Tennessee, I feel Tennessee, they lost to 8-1 Georgia, they lost to 8-1 Alabama, they lost to 7-2 Oklahoma. Aren't terrible losses, right? Texas Tech would lose to those teams, and so would Notre Dame, in my opinion. And I get it. I get feedback from my Tech fans, and they're like, "Yo, Texas Tech has the best defense in the country." Yeah, you're playing BYU. You're playing Iowa State. Okay, yeah, come over here. Come to this conference and play this on a weekly basis. And I have nothing against the great city of Lubbock. I love Lubbock. It's a great place. All right, I got family there. Okay. So those are my rankings right now. And I just, I feel that the SEC teams, they got some dog in them. All right, top 25 wins this season. Ohio State has 2 of them. Indiana has 2. A&M has 2. And Alabama has 4. And really, if you want to go by the current rankings, these teams don't even, they have 1. Because Illinois isn't ranked anymore either. And Oregon, another team that's not featured on this board, they just got their best win of the season by beating Iowa. Okay? You know what? I bet you on a neutral site I bet you Vandy would beat Oregon. Yeah, that's interesting. Roll Tide Prods, what's up, dog? He says this, Kyle, Bama has a real chance to win it all, both football and basketball. Oh, man. Okay, perfect. Let's end on that, okay? So these are our Week 12 games, right? Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, College Game Day. up in Pittsburgh. You got Oklahoma taking on Bama right here at beautiful Bryant-Denny Stadium, and you have Texas taking on Georgia. All right. Yeah. Does Bama have an opportunity to win the championship this year? Yeah. They certainly have the team to do it. They're not perfect yet, but you have games to work on and fine-tune where you want to go. That Alabama basketball team, they're in action again this week taking on Purdue. If you didn't have the opportunity to see them play St. John's on the road at Madison Square Gardens, you're missing out. This Alabama basketball team, man, they lost a lot of guys, and they didn't lose any pace from last year. Nate Oates is, my goodness, like this guy is, you want to talk about him, high impact man, talk about Nate Oates. And also LeBaron Philon, finally right cell came with it. So, man, this team is absolutely rolling. Alabama basketball, jump on. I'm telling you, this team is absolutely ferocious. With that said, fam, I think we're at a good spot. I am so blessed to feel better because, man, I was under the weather these last couple days. So thank you for giving me grace. But as you know, this is a go heavy time because we're in SEC play and it's Oklahoma week, okay? So news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming up later today, some excerpts from Coach Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, Kane Womack. Always stay locked into the Facebook channel. I hope you guys had a great show. Thank you for giving me grace, every single day as I continue to work to be better on here, Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you so much for the super chats as well. And as news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this beautiful Monday, November 10th, where we got the temperature of 41 degrees. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. See you soon, fam. Love y'all. Peace.